Next, we have Leema Ahmed. Leema is a Mancunian who went to London for medical school and then came back, fiancé in tow, to finish training as an older adult psychiatrist. This story is her first foray into creative writing. Her ambition is to write about the kind of things that cause pain and explore them in a way that makes them lighter. Reading an excerpt of her story, Humble Begettings, please welcome Leema Ahmed.
Hi everyone. Humble Begettings. The pregnancy test was negative, I'm afraid. I broke the sad news to the IVF nurse in a calm but sympathetic voice. I spent a couple of minutes consoling her about the failed implantation before moving on to provide hope for future attempts. She seemed a little thrown off at the role reversal. This routine I repeated with our family and a few close friends, determined to corral my own miserable feelings. Within 2 days, the physical aftermath of the IVF was too overwhelming to leave room for sulking. Over the week, my side of the bed came to resemble the bloody murder bed from a homicide investigation drama. Sleep disappeared whilst I endeavoured to battle horrible pains and various other objectionable symptoms. I developed the bedraggled and crazed aspect of a natural-born killer, a million miles from the soft glow and eyes twinkling with secret life look that I had been gunning for that week. And to put the icing on the bodily indignities cake, I developed a hemorrhoid, a little round nuisance which I understood often developed following the hefty doses of injected hormones. Initially, it only showed itself on bathroom visits, but then one night, it made its foray into outdoor living whilst I was lying innocently in bed. I was most annoyed by this new and unnatural sensation. To top it off, my phone had just pinged with a message from a friend's partner, thanking us for our housewarming gifts. His name was Miles. This had never been an issue before, but somehow, in my sleepy, drug-addled state, my desire to respond well to the social overture from Miles became confused with my desire to respond adequately to my new problem of piles. And I dreamt strange dreams of polite conversation with my hemorrhoid. My review with the IVF consultant came round. By then, I was feeling human again, except that the hemorrhoid seemed to be on the up, despite my efforts with steroid cream. I gave the consultant my usual encouraging patter, and he nodded sympathetically as he'd heard it all before. When I told him I was physically more or less recovered other than the pile, I was dismayed to be asked to pop on the couch. A nurse was called in, and after the basic prodding examination, I was told they were just getting the ultrasound to have a closer look. What fresh hell is this now, I thought. There were the lubricated manoeuvrings of the scanner, a few captured stills, and a whispered conversation between the clinicians, during which I could have sworn I heard the phrase fetal sac. Back at the desk, my gynecologist said, "Well, it appears you have a condition known as gravidum ectopia asinum." He explained that whilst it was common knowledge that ectopic pregnancies could occur in the fallopian tubes, an extremely rare other site was the lower part of the rectum. He paused to let this sink in. Uncertain whether to be overjoyed or disgusted, a curious affective dilemma, I clarified, "So I am pregnant?" To which he smiled and congratulated us. From his shelf, he pulled down a journal, Annales d'Obstétrique et de Gynécologie, and leafed through the pages till he arrived at a moody calotype of a woman in a Victorian-style bodice and long skirt with full and rounded bustle. To my astonishment, the next photograph showed the woman disrobed, and that the bustle, instead of being formed by horsehair petticoats, had been shaped by a large fleshy egg shape that protruded from her behind. I felt a little nauseated. "You should be all right," said my doctor, "as long as you do your pelvic floor exercises."